And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, Director at WEIU. My co-host is Mr. Alex Sipman.
Good afternoon, Jeff.
Good to see you, Alex. Today we're talking to Master Gardeners, Jenny Lee and Brenda Pierce. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So why don't each of you introduce yourself in terms of like your maybe your job title or expertise or longevity in the Master Gardeners, and then we'll get into some details. Brenda, you want to go first?
I'm Brenda Pierce. I'm from Sullivan, and I joined the Master Gardeners 6 years ago. And I really like working in the plant row, and I like working with perennials and pollinators and things like that.
Okay. Jenny?
My name's Jenny Lee. I'm the program coordinator for both the Master Gardener and the Master Naturalist programs in Coles, Cumberland, Douglas, Moultrie, and Shelby counties.
I think we always have you on about this time every year, but I always like to let people know, a little bit of just what are the Master Gardeners. And when we say Master Gardeners, I mean, obviously it kind of says what it is, but, what do people not know and go into what Master Gardeners program is?
You want to take that, or you want me to?
Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay.
Remember, you're the expert.
I'm supposed to be, right? So Master Gardeners are trained volunteers. They go through a course on learning different aspects of growing plants, flowers, vegetables, some successes, some failures, and we all learn from the failures, right? And then from there, they go through an internship where they're learning from a seasoned Master Gardener, and once they complete their internship, we consider them to be certified Master Gardeners. But the training is about 12 weeks. There's different types of training. There's a hybrid training, and there's an online training. Just depends on what time you have available and which way of learning is better for you.
Okay. Alex?
What inspired both of you to be a part of Master Gardeners?
Well, I've loved gardening forever, and I would see, like in the newspaper, articles about what the Master Gardeners were doing when I was working, and I knew some of the Master Gardeners from my area, and I was always thinking, oh, that's something I want to be a part of. So then when I left my job, I had to care for my mom for a little while, but after that, it was one of the things that was on my bucket list to do.
Yeah.
And did you pass the first time?
I did, and I've really, really enjoyed it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think a lot of the Master Gardeners, it's one of those things that's on their bucket list that they want to do. My background is in biology and botany minor when I got my bachelor's degree, so I've always, I grew up outside, always liked, different types of plants and trees, and I just kind of, when this job became available, I was like, oh yeah, that's something that I want to do. Yeah.
A couple of events that we're going to talk about. One of them, though, is Spring into Gardening.
Yes.
Can you talk about that, Brenda? And we're going into some detail about that.
This year it is March 14th, and it will start at 8 o'clock, and it is at the United Methodist Church here in Charleston, the Wesley United Methodist Church. And we have breakout sessions this year, which we are doing for the very first time, so that's really exciting. And people can sign up on the webpage, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, this is our 16th annual Spring into Gardening. We've had it at Wesley United Methodist Church a couple of different times. And with our breakout sessions this time, there'll be more hands-on breakout sessions, so people can sign up for those. Those are a little bit extra cost because we have lots of materials that people will need to provide for them. But yeah, it'll be exciting because I feel like the hands-on learning is something that people enjoy, and they get to take something home with them at the end of the day.
And the Spring into Gardening has been going on since 2009. So how has it evolved? Has it evolved into these breakout groups? Things like that? Any other changes or that you've seen over the years?
Well, in the last 6 years, we've been at 3 different locations. So for me, having the Methodist Church in Charleston host it for the 3rd time is nice.
Yes.
Nice to have a home at the moment.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's changed a little bit is, we've tried a couple of different approaches where we've brought in keynote speakers.
Yeah.
People seem to enjoy that, but I really do think that We did try the breakout sessions last year, but in a different kind of format. We still had a keynote speaker, and the breakout sessions, they weren't really hands-on. It was more lecture presentations. And so this year, we're adding that hands-on component to those breakout sessions.
Could you give us an example of like what a breakout session would do so that you kind of get the feeling for the attendees to possibly experience?
Sure.
Well, one of them is the nesting ball. I
Right.
think that's going to be very, very popular. And it's not exactly what it sounds like. It's a ball where you can put different materials.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a sewer, I was thinking threads and pieces of scraps of fabric. But I think they were talking alpaca wool and different twigs and things. And it's a ball that the birds can just pull from that makes it easier for them to build a nest. So the birds
A
aren't
cheat sheet
actually
for the birds.
nesting in the
Exactly,
nesting ball. Yeah. Although they could build a nest in it afterwards, I
suppose so,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Okay, interesting. All right, Alex.
Personally, for both of you, what are your favorite things to plant?
Perennials are my favorite. Also, I'm not a big vegetable planter, but I do the basics, the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions, things like that.
Yeah, I'm similar. I live out in the country, and I've tried having a large garden before, and basically it was a salad bar for the wildlife. So I stopped doing large gardens and kind of went to just container gardens with peppers, tomatoes. I really enjoy houseplants.
That was a great line, by the way. A salad bar for the wildlife.
Yeah.
I like that one. There we go. I don't even know where I'm at now. Okay. Anything else about the spring into gardening that you want to talk about before we get into the watershed stuff? I mean, things that are going to be happening and how people can get involved?
There's a web place to go to, goillinois.ed/sprig 2026, and then you can go in there and get your spot reserved.
And you sign up for the breakouts in there as well?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah. And we'll have a silent auction. This helps us bring in money for the programs that we like to offer to the public, helps support our programming. And we'll also have a sales table where people can buy direct little, handmade items that the Master Gardeners have made, or just small things that they can use in their gardens or at home even. So
Right. Yeah.
Are the numbers good for the Master Gardeners? Do you have enough people? Or are you looking for more? Or what are the numbers like?
Always looking for more.
Always looking for more. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it's fun to have people that have the same interest as you in a group, and they bring so much to the group. So, yeah, we can always use more.
Okay. Is there a way to sign up for the training online, I assume, as well?
yes, if you go to our website, if you just Google U of I Extension Coles County, it'll pop up, and there'll be information on there about how you can take the training.
Okay. And the new thing that you're getting involved in, it's very apropos with everything that's been going on in a couple of our local communities, and mine and Brenda's to be sure, is the watershed training. Talk about that and why it's so important to this area right now.
Yeah, so we all know that we've had issues with water in Mattoon and the surrounding areas now. And the Watershed Stewards Program is an interactive training series that's designed to equip the community members with the knowledge and the skills to help protect our local water resources. So we're bringing in experts from around the state of Illinois to teach these sessions, anywhere from water hydrology to water quality, flooding issues, and ecological benefits of healthy waterways. And participants will be able to gain information from our experts in order to help them understand how they can improve the water. We're always talking about nutrient loss reduction with farming practices, but what can community members do within their own landscape to help with water quality issues, and kind of be looking at our water resources. Maybe they live by the lake. What's it looking like? Are there concerns? Can they let people know what they're seeing? Those types of things. But our experts are coming from Illinois Indiana Sea Grant. We'll have experts from Water Quality Survey, Prairie Research Institute. So a lot of different people coming in to teach these sessions.
You say that because last summer, obviously, it hit Mattoon a couple of times really hard, and the city took as good a care as people as they could, but it was scary. So what you're saying is the people that maybe saw this should have reacted quicker. Is that a safe to say? Or I mean, it seemed like they knew it was there, the green and whatever, and they didn't react fast enough. Or do you want people to react faster if you think they see something that maybe is a caution?
I think it's just a matter of I don't want to speak to how the response was to that. I think that our leadership did the best that they could with the information that they had at the time. This is just kind of empowering community members to be able to understand what's going on with the water. Are they seeing things that look kind of out of place or not normal for that time of year? And if they are, maybe they could alert our leadership and say, hey, maybe you guys should be checking this out. And I think it's just I think it will just help the community members empower them a little bit.
Makes sense, yeah.
and understand how watersheds work and what they can be doing at their own yards and lawns to help improve that.
Now, Brenda, you're from Sullivan, who's going through something right now similar. I'm not as familiar with it, but what can be done, or what should people be looking for over there? Do you have any advice?
Well, I know that the city of Sullivan is working on the problem. We have an aquifer that is, from what I have gleaned, the water is not replenishing as quickly as it's being used, and so they're looking at steps to alleviate that. And so the people in Sullivan and on rural water, the Moultrie County Rural Water, have been asked to conserve water. And so, it's kind of a group effort over in Sullivan.
Okay.
It's not a problem I think any of us ever thought we were going to have.
Right.
So, this is going to be an interesting, and especially for gardeners in this, when summer gets hot, you want to be out there watering your plants, and you may have to do it in a different way or look at it differently.
There you go. Alex?
Beyond like the things that happen with the water from time to time, what are some other unique challenges or qualities that come with gardening in Illinois specifically, or in this part of Illinois?
Well, sometimes we get a lot of rain when we don't need a lot of rain, and sometimes there's a hot spell that doesn't always work out well for some plants. So,
Right.
yeah.
I think something else that might be an issue with some people is their soil. There might be nutrients available, but maybe the soil's compacted and the plants can't bring up those nutrients as quick. So we get a lot of questions about soil quality and should I fertilize, should I not fertilize, how can I improve my soils? So I think that's always kind of on the minds of gardeners as well.
And go back into a little bit to the water conservation. It used to, when growing up, I always remember that was only a California thing, and now it's right here in the heart of Illinois. Is there tips for people that you say do things other ways, like save rainwater one, or what kind of things can we do?
Well, I know at my house, I live on a farm, and we have a cistern that comes off of our big implement shed, so I can water plants with that. For people who don't have that, rain barrels is a really good way to get around that. And I've known people who collect water off of roofs with just big livestock tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's ways to. For town people, I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do.
I think rain barrels is one of the answers for that, especially in a urban area, to collect that water off of your roofs.
And that's, is that, I mean, I know in some towns you can't do that, right? I mean, I've heard that rainwater, you're not supposed to do that, but I think around here there's no towns where that's illegal, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
fine
there's
in,
any ordinance.
Yeah, it's fine in my town, but
Okay.
yeah.
A couple of other things that I know are coming up. You're going to have a plant sale eventually, right? And I think
Yeah, that's
at Lytle
coming
Park.
up Saturday, May 9th, and that's at Lytle Park in Mattoon, and that's been an annual thing for, I don't know how many years. Do you know,
gosh.
Jenny?
I don't. It's been a number of years. I know that.
Yes,
At least
and
as
we-
many years as Spring into Gardening. I know that.
And we have a lot of faithful people who come every year to get the plants that we
yeah.
grow in the greenhouse over at Sarah Bush. So,
Right.
yeah.
So what kind of plants can people buy that day? Is it vegetables or flowers or?
Oh,
or-
yes. Tomatoes, green peppers, oh gosh, all kinds of vegetables for the garden, house plants. Sometimes we have floral perennials and, yeah,
Yeah, we'll have
annuals.
Yeah, we'll have some sunflowers, blanket flowers, a lot of varieties of tomatoes, and a lot of varieties of peppers. Those are the go-to ones that people are wanting for their gardens. But we'll have some plants for pollinators and some houseplants, yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll also have a sale table with gently used garden implements
Oh,
and
nice.
plant stands and pots and a lot of gardening things.
Okay.
And we
Yeah,
typically
that's always popular.
Yeah, and we also try and have seeds available for people. If they still need seeds, we'll have those there, and they can leave a donation if they want for however many seed packets they want to take. But we don't require any money for those seeds because we want to make sure that people have what they need to grow a garden.
There you go. Alex?
What's the most rewarding part of being a master gardener for both of you?
Actually, it's been all the things I've learned from the other gardeners and that I've been able to implement in my own yard. It's like I went from 0 to 30, over in the last couple of years, and I get a lot of compliments from people driving by, and it's just like, yeah.
I think for me, this is my work, and being able to build relationships with the master gardeners has been really rewarding, and getting to know, each of the master gardeners and what they enjoy doing, and kind of taking their strengths and sharing that with the public.
Okay. I believe I saw there's going to be an event down in Toledo this year as well. Are anybody familiar with what that is? And there's also a botanical garden event coming up later on this year, if I recall.
Yes, so we applied for a grant to do a project in Toledo. We have a few master gardeners from that area, and they really wanted to do something for the community. Toledo has plant containers around the square that they use every year, and it always looks beautiful, but we wanted it to make it more of a community event. So the project will involve a few master gardeners. Cumberland FFA students will be growing the plants that we need for those containers, and then the city will also have people involved in kind of teaching people about this is how we use our containers and care for our containers on the square. But we'll have a couple of workshops on how to do a container garden, and then in the fall we'll do one on mums.
Is it Toledo only, or is it also green up?
It's Toledo, so
right.
this year it's Toledo.
You got to get green up in there, right?
Yeah.
A natural fit. So, and the botanical garden event.
Last year, for the first time, the Idea Garden had a event in the evening where people could come and ask questions and tour the garden. And the Idea Garden is on the west side of Sarah Bush.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sometimes directionally challenged, but
You could have said anything.
it's on the
over there.
Mattoon side.
Yeah.
And it's a garden that has just a sample of all kinds of different gardens. There's a succulent garden, there's a bulb garden, there's a perennial garden, there's a bush garden, a kid's garden, and many more, an herb garden, and just a little sample of everything. And then the people at Sarah Bush who are patients or visiting or relatives can go out there and walk it and sit. We've got some benches out there. But we had an event where in the evening people could come and meet with a master gardener and ask questions. And it just really went over well last year. So we're going to do it again. And that is going to be June 18th from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. So it will be our second annual.
Nice.
Yeah, and it'll be earlier this year in the year. Last year it was later in the year. This year we wanted to do it a little bit earlier so that people can experience the garden in a different kind of season.
Yeah.
And so even if you came last year, you'll see different things this year because different things will be in bloom in June than it was last year.
Okay.
Oh, and there were snacks.
Yes,
So-
snacks are important.
Snacks.
These were, botanical themed refreshments. So
Do you guys use a lot of social media to promote what's going on? And have you seen that being helpful to the Master Gardeners?
I think so.
yes, I've really been trying to utilize our Facebook page a lot more to get the word out about Master Gardeners and the programs that we offer. And trying to highlight the Master Gardeners and what they're doing because they are making an impact in the community. Also out at Sarah Bush, we have a plant-a-row garden, and all of the produce that we grow out there and harvest is donated to local food pantries. And last year we had over, I think it was around 1,300 to 1,500 pounds of produce just from that one garden that went to our local pantries.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Alex?
How has being a part of Master Gardeners changed your personal approach to gardening?
Well, now you got to be good, right?
I'm trying to think exactly how. I just know it has. I mean, the way I deal with the soil, the way I deal with mulch, and the way I prune things has definitely improved since being a master gardener.
I went through the Master Gardener training, but I'm not really, this is my job, so, but
You're the expert.
I learned, well, no, because I learned from the Master Gardeners too, they call us Master Gardeners, and I think there are people that think that
We know everything.
they should know everything, but that's not always true because there might be, one Master Gardener might focus on houseplants and they love houseplants, where another might be really into vegetable gardening. So we kind of draw on each other's strengths to answer questions, and if we don't know the answer, we'll find it out.
Yes, I have a lot of friends who will say, "Oh, you're a master gardener. How do I do this?" And I'm like, "I don't know anything about trees, people."
There you go. Yeah, I don't know answer. I get it. Herbicides and pesticides. When is a good time, not a good time, or is it based on your soil? Talk about those because I know it's a controversial subject in the gardening world of when to use both those.
So typically we say if you're seeing bees flying around, you really don't want to use any kind of pesticide because it can affect our pollinators.
Yeah.
And it's not just honeybees. We have lots of different varieties of bees and wasps that do pollinate our plants. And if you're seeing those flying around and you're spraying pesticides, they could be affected. So, there are certain times where, especially if you're growing some sort of fruit trees, there are schedules to when you're supposed to be using those herbicides and pesticides for your fruit trees. But we always try and use practices before using herbicides and pesticides. Is there a natural predator for the bug that you're trying to get rid of? Those types of things. So, it's kind of a case-by-case basis. But we're always happy to answer those types of questions. And then fertilizer, a lot of people over-fertilize. We have great soils in Illinois, and you don't have to fertilize your garden every year. We always say get a soil sample, get it tested, and go from there to see if you actually need to put any kind of fertilizer down.
Do you all test the soil at your place, or is there places that people can go?
Right, we don't, but we do have information on a variety of different places around that do test soil.
Okay.
Yep.
We have a few minutes left today. We're talking to Master Gardeners Jenny Lee and Brenda Pierce. Diana was supposed to be here today, feeling a little under the weather, so we let Jenny and Brenda come in, and you guys are doing great. Anything else that you in terms of programs or events that we have not discussed yet as we get closer to the end there? I want to make sure we touched on all the things you want to touch on.
I think we've really touched on some things. One thing that is kind of interesting that our master naturalists are also promoting is it's called City Nature Challenge. It is just a time. It'll start Friday, April 24th and run through Monday, April 27th. And if you're not familiar with the iNaturalist app, you should look that up because it's a really cool app where you can go out and take pictures of a variety of different things, not just plants, but insects, mushrooms, all kinds of different things, and it'll help you identify what that is.
Okay.
And so this is a challenge for people to discover the different organisms within the cityscape and then contribute to science, because there are scientists that go to iNaturalist to collect your data that you're helping to put into that app to see what is happening in the biodiversity within the city.
Okay.
So that's kind of a cool thing that you can contribute to science. It's kind of a community science opportunity.
Is it a free app then, iNaturalist?
Yes, it is free.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Alex, any other questions over there?
More of a fun question, whether it be gardening related or not. What are you most looking forward to about this time of year as it starts to get warmer and starts to get nicer out?
I'm waiting for the soil to dry out so I can start digging a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think just, looking forward to being able to plant some things in the yard and get my tomatoes and peppers going.
Yeah, right now
Yeah.
it's looking a little muddy.
Yeah, and it's too early. Don't start yet.
That was my next question. I know that if you look out over the next couple of weeks forecast, looks like there's 50s, 60s, maybe even a 70-day. But it's better just to do your maintenance and prep work right now.
You're
instead of-
planning, yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of getting
there's
out
some
there-
trees that you can prune in February and
And
March, but
some shrubs,
some
Yeah.
shrubs. But other than that, yeah, you just
Don't be
have to
planting anything
You
yet.
you could start some seeds inside.
You could inside, yeah.
Inside of invasive plants going to be an issue this summer, or is it too early to tell? I mean, I know that's been a problem the last few years around here.
I think there will always be a battle with invasives, whether it's garlic mustard or honeysuckle. Our Master Naturalist program, that's one of the things that we do is a stewardship, and we partner with a lot of different areas, Grand Prairie Friends, Douglas Hart Nature Center, to go out and remove invasive species, because it's not a one and done thing. They're always there, it seems, and it will be something that you have to try and control every year. Yeah.
Fruit or vegetable you refuse to eat, Brenda?
Brussels sprouts.
I
don't
like
care.
Brussels
I know. I people love them, and to me, it's just like no, just no.
Jenny?
It's only if they're cooked a certain way, I guess. Oh gosh.
Olive oil and bacon.
Yeah, there you go.
Lots of cheese.
I like a lot of different fruits and vegetables. One thing I can't eat is watermelon. I like the taste of it, but it does not like me.
Alex, real quick, either fruit or vegetable you refuse to eat?
I've never eaten Brussels sprouts, so I guess I'll go with those.
Well, hey, great. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, Brenda. Appreciate it, Jenny, so much. We are WEIU.